Hello and welcome to this Schoology tutorial. This tutorial will focus on creating rubrics in your course so that you can access them and use them for adding to quizzes, a assignment, or even to discussion boards. So to get started, you'll see I'm logged into my course and I am going to head over here on the left-hand side to Gradebook. Once I've clicked on Gradebook, there is an option that shows up underneath Grade Setup. So here I am in Grade Setup, and on the right-hand side you have a choice of scales and rubrics. So what I'm going to do is you can click on rubrics and it'll show you rubrics you've already created, or I'm going to click on the pull-down menu here under Add, and I'm going to click on Rubric. And here is our Rubric Editing window. So I'm going to title my rubric, and for this one I'll call it Demo. And here are my choices of adding and then adjusting my rubric to whatever I want. I can add a title for my criteria. So this one, let's say it's a general, ELA style rubric that I was using that could really fit whatever you have currently. I might have a score for overall. You can add a description. The piece is well done. Very, very basic, obviously. And I can then change my grading scale 4, 3, 2, 1. I can change these fields to having, maybe exceeding standard, meeting standard, approaching standard, and clean up some spelling, and below standard. You can add in any extra scores. If I hit the plus, I can create a 1.5. I can do all kinds of things like that if I would like. I can hit the X and delete that. You'll see the little X and the plus. You can go through and do that. You can change these, so a different section might be worth 8 points, and you can adjust these so it's 8, 6, whatever. You can totally change and play around with your rubric scores totally. So you have that flexibility. And that's something that you can kind of play around with and change. I'm going to move this over, paste, 1, below standard, and I'm back to kind of my starting point here. I can't spell, obviously. All right, so there's one set of criteria. Now, if I want to add more, I hit plus, criteria. You can add as many of these as you would like for your overall rubric. Bear in mind that the more you add, this window doesn't get bigger for editing. I wish it would go full screen. That would be an excellent feature. It just doesn't right now. So this is where you're at. And you'll notice now that I have 4 criteria, I can change any of these. I can move them up and down if I want to change the ordering of them once I've added them. I can change all of these different point values, and I have a 16-point rubric. So you can play with the numbers however you want. You can make it so it's a 100-point rubric, which I've done for previous ELA writing pieces where, each piece as a whole or each part of the rubric, let's say I had 5, all of them were worth 20 maybe. It could have been 25, 25, 20, 20, whatever it is you want to kind of break it out and then figure it out. So, a 3 is maybe worth an 85, a 4 is maybe totally worth 100, obviously. You can totally play with that. So once you've got your rubric kind of set up how you'd like, you can even align learning objectives. So if you want to go through and look at learning objectives for whatever it is that you're writing, you can dig in here and you can add your learning objectives to it if you would like to do so. That's nice to be able to kind of apply it to state standards. And then once you're all set and done, you've checked your spelling, everything's happy, and you're very pleased with the overall look, you hit create. Oh, I need to add a title. So you even get your error message. Writing, conventions, organization. So now I've got that. So create, and you'll see here my demo is there. You'll even see that it's the 16 points. It shows right here, 16-point rubric. And this is a nice little feature. You'll see here that it tells you which course is using this assignment, or how many courses I should say. So if I did have this applied to a course of study, this would have a 1 or a 2 or a 3. So however many assignments I use it for, it's there. And then the nice thing about this is that you'll know not to delete that rubric because it's assigned to courses. Because if you did delete that rubric and it was assigned to courses, it could create a problem for your assignment, your categories, your grades in general. So that's the basics of creating a rubric in Schoology. You can play around with it and do as much as you need to customize it to your liking. And we will move on later on with different tutorials to show how to apply that.